Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, then I've just started my channel. It's brand new. I have two children, one who is called Gabriella, she is 2.5, and I've just had my son a month ago now, so he's a newborn, and he's called Aretino. Now I really wanted to just sit down and have a just to do like a story time, like a really laid back story time of my birth. And can I just say, this is a very rare occasion in my house because both children, not one, but both kids are asleep. I had time to make myself an iced coffee and I actually had time to put some makeup on. So anyway, I thought I'd want to sit down in my bedroom and just have a chit chat with you guys. So let's take it back. Aretino was due on so we had two scans. We had a private scan and they predicted that he would be born on the 12th of March, and we also had a scan with the NHS and they predicted the 13th of March. Now can I just say, he actually did come on the 12th of March, so yeah, he was like bang on the day. Anyway, we're going to take it back. So oh yeah, right. My pregnancy this time round was a little bit trickier. I didn't have any major issues, but I had a few like little scares with the word of the C-section that did come into play. Basically, my placenta was sort of in the way or something. I don't actually understand. And it felt like this was ages ago, but there was an issue with the placenta and it had to sort of move out of the way. Actually, hold on. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Okay, thank God I checked because I actually did have lipstick on my teeth. An issue with the placenta, and they were saying that if the placenta didn't move in time, then I would then have had to have had a C-section. Anyway, we went for my 36-week scan and basically I was so nervous and I was praying for it to have moved. Anyway, long story short, it hadn't moved, and I was really gutted. And not only had it not moved, but then I also had the issue that he was lying across my belly. So I'll insert a picture here, and he was in the transverse position. It was also another added issue. Anyway, we're going to fast forward because I know I can talk and talk and this video can be like an hour long and you don't want to hear me talk for that long. Anyway, so we went again 2 weeks later for the next scan, and luckily, not only had my placenta moved completely out of the way, so that was no longer an issue, he was no longer in the transverse position either, so he was lying in the correct position in my belly, which was amazing. I literally couldn't believe it. So anyway, that was all not an issue, and yeah, but however, I was actually considering a home birth this time. I wanted a home birth in a water bath, but because of all the uncertainty and it was a lot of coming and going and I wasn't sure, I just had to then knock that on the head. So we then just went back to it being a normal birth in a water bath, though I still wanted a water bath, but in the hospital. Anyway, I knocked that on the head and then I knew that it was going to be in the hospital. From then, it was literally just a waiting game. So Gabriella came, so she was due on the 18th and she actually came on the 19th, but from the very beginning with this pregnancy, I was like, no, he's going to come early, he's going to come early. I was very wrong, by the way. I was literally convinced that he was going to come early, but he never did. But even better, he actually came bang on his due date. On the 12th, I had an appointment on the 10th of March to go for a membrane sweep. Now this is one of the most natural ways that you can sort of kickstart your labour, and I had that with Gabriella. It worked perfectly. It was amazing because literally I went for the sweep that morning. That night my contractions started, so I based it off that, and I knew that it worked with Gabriella. I definitely want to have the sweep again with Aretino. So anyway, we had the sweep with him though this time at 7 p.m. in the evening. It was so late, and literally as soon as she had, oh, but by the way, let's just insert a picture here of me about to get a random woman's fist practically inside my noonie. So yeah, I was not looking forward to this, and it does feel uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie, and the second time around it felt a lot more uncomfortable than it did the first time round. Actually, I'm gonna say it was painful. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you guys, it was painful. It was a bit more than just uncomfortable. So we had it at 7 p.m. As soon as she finished, I felt like I had period pains. Like literally I was still in the room with her and I said, whoa, I've got period pains already. And she goes, look, I'm known for my sweeps to be successful. I bet you're gonna have this baby in 24 hours. Anyway, so we went home. That night, I felt like I had contractions. They were coming and going, but they were so irregular. Like they were literally like every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes. But I was still quite positive. I was like, okay, but I've still got contractions. They had basically stopped at 11 o'clock that night. And I thought, oh, okay. So I managed to have a good night's sleep, but they had completely stopped overnight. Anyway, the next morning they came again. I had the odd contraction. It was very, very like they were all over the place. Again, every 15 minutes, every 10 minutes, they were just really regular. And then again, they stopped. They stopped about 11 o'clock in the morning, I remember. I went the whole day with no contractions, nothing. And then at 4 o'clock, my contractions started again. This is on the 12th of March. So they started at 4 p.m. and I said to Ev, my husband, right, we need to do the whole hot curry thing again. I want this baby to come on time. So 6 p.m. I ordered a really hot curry. No, it was not a vindaloo because my nostrils can't handle that. We ordered a hot spicy curry. The curry was at 6 p.m. My contractions started full on, okay, at 8 p.m. that night. Now, they started, and I'm thinking, okay, is it going to be random? Is this it now? Right. So, I made a really good iced coffee today, by the way. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should, I always make iced coffees on my Instagram. I was like, right, okay, they've started again. So Ev went up for a shower and he was gone for about half an hour in total. And I was writing them down this time because they felt more regular. So they were like every 15 minutes. And when I tell you that they went from every 15 minutes for the first half an hour, the last half an hour, they went down to every 10 minutes. And then from every 10 minutes, just like that, they went down to every 5 minutes. And it was like full on, and they were hurting. Let me tell you, they were intense. So Ev comes down and he's looking at the times that I'm writing down and he's like, Georgina, these are really regular, like what on earth? We called triage, so you got to call triage, and I explained to them, look, I've had intense contractions for an hour, they're really painful, you know, can we come in? They said, right, come in. My mum and Ev were going to be in the hospital room with me, so they were going to be my birthing partners. So I called my mum. She literally doesn't even live 10 minutes away from me. Within 10 minutes of her getting to me, my contractions were every 4 minutes, somewhere every 3, so every 3 to 4 minutes, okay? At one point, I didn't even make it from my living room, putting my coat on, to walking to my front door. I then got another contraction at my front door, and my mum goes to me, oh my God. Like, she told me after, at this point, I was worried. I was like thinking, are we even gonna make it to the hospital? We took the car to the hospital. It was about a 25-minute drive. And of course, sod's law, it was just after 9 p.m, about 9ish, 9:30 I think. And literally you would think at this time there are no cars on the road and you're going to get there quite quickly. But no, we were stuck behind a bus at one point. We were stuck behind someone driving very slowly. And to be fair, with this one, I was just like, I was angry. Let's just say I was angry, and I was just like moaning at Ev, like, hurry up, I'm dying here. And by the way, I had the TENS machine strapped to me, so I really do recommend the TENS machine. I had it with both of the labours. Anyway, we finally get to the hospital. We got to the hospital at 10:10. Now, the reason I know this is because Ev looked at his watch as he dropped us off because he wanted to keep track of the time so that he could start paying for the car park. So we went in. And 10:10, she wanted to examine me, and I was just dying at this point. They were so intense. And right, so the first thing that happened, I remember she said, right, get on the bed, I want to examine you. And I remember I was clutched, whatever, clenched onto Ev like this, like, which I was just finding everything so difficult at this point. So anyway, I got down, she examined me, and she said I'm 5 centimeters. Now at this point, most people would be really happy that they've just got to the hospital for the first time, they're 5 centimeters dilated, like wow, amazing. But no, I was like, are you serious? How am I in this much pain? They're so intense and I'm only 5 centimeters. Like, to me, I was just like, actually, I was a little bit disappointed at that point, because I thought, if I'm only halfway and I'm in this much pain, how am I going to survive, like, God knows how many more hours? Got dressed, put my bikini top on, got into the pool. Within 10 minutes, I said to her, I need to start pushing. And she was like, what? Really? Like, how can you start pushing? I just examined you, you're only 5 centimeters. And Mum said, look, she did this with the first pregnancy as well, with the labour. She told us when she needed to start pushing, and she was right. So the woman was like, right, the midwife was like, hey, right, well, you take the lead. So anyway, I literally started pushing within 10 minutes of being in the pool. I was literally pushing for about 10 minutes, and at 11:03 I had him. So I was literally in the pool. I made it in the pool for about half an hour, and this was half an hour in total of actually pushing him out. So yeah, so we got to the hospital at 10:10 and I had him at 11:03. Crazy, I know. I'll be totally frank with you, I did shit in the pool. Worst part about the water birth, I have to say, is you have to then sort of step out of the bath, and then, like, obviously you have the cord dangling in between your legs. So you have to then get out, climb out of the bath, walk across the room, okay, and then lie on the bed with this cord hanging out of you. And then obviously they then have to get the, I have to say, second time round, I had these like crazy pains in my stomach. They literally felt like contractions. And I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, I remember with Gabriella, I pushed her out, and the second I pushed her out, literally I felt no pain. And that was it. Like, the burning sensation had gone. I had no stomach pains, nothing. But with Aretino, oh my God, like literally it was like contractions. And she goes, oh yeah, that's just your belly contracting back to normal. Now I'm telling you this because no one, not one midwife, and I met 3 midwives through all my appointments, like 3 different midwives, not one of them told me that after your first baby it's more common for you to have like contraction type pains. And these don't just last for a couple of hours after you've had the baby. These actually can go on for a good week or even 2 weeks after you've had the baby. So every time I put him on my boob to feed, it was literally, I was like, it was basically a contraction, a mini contraction. So that was literally my labour story. So I couldn't have had a better delivery, to be honest. It actually went perfectly. Yes, my contractions felt a lot more intense with the second baby, but it happened so much faster. And I can't complain. From the point of getting to hospital, I had him 40 minutes later. So, I mean, perfect, right? I got the water bath that I wanted. Just everything went to plan. And what I have to say to you guys is, and I wish I kind of actually mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but please, please stay as positive as you can. Stay positive. Okay, don't let anyone try and like be negative with you, or say, oh, you've come into hospital and you're only 2 centimeters. Don't let that negativity get into your head, because then you're then going to start thinking, oh no, I've just got to the hospital, we've come all this way, I'm only 2 centimeters, blah de blah. Sometimes I hear that you can get a bit of a moody midwife, unfortunately. Just don't, try your best to not let it get to you, because I swear I'm convinced it all has a big part to play in. Oh my God, what was I saying? This is actually happening to me a lot, you know. I'm in mid-sentence and I forget what I'm saying. Work on your breathing. The breathing is so important, and to be fair, at the beginning I wasn't really doing my breathing properly, and it was actually Ev that constantly kept reminding me. I was like, look, you have to breathe properly. Once I started doing that, and I only really grasped that at the hospital, I literally, it was a lot better. It does help. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I didn't have an epidural, I didn't have any pain relief, I only had gas and air, and gas and air is your best friend, by the way, so use that to its fullest because it really does help. It honestly was another perfect delivery, and even with Gabriella, I only had gas and air with her. Now, can I just say, you're probably thinking, oh, her pain relief must be amazing, okay, her pain threshold, sorry. No, it is not. It is shocking. I will have a headache, and I can tell you I will take tablets to take that headache away because I just can't handle being in pain. But I don't know why. I don't know if it's me being stubborn in my pregnancies or me just being adamant I do not want anything, or I just kept constantly telling myself I can do this, I can do this. And I just went through the whole thing with no pain relief apart from gas and air. So let me tell you, if I can do it, and I'm being 100% honest with you, honestly, my pain threshold is shocking. If I can do it, you can do it, okay? Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with an epidural, okay? There's nothing wrong with pethidine or any other form of medication or pain relief if you need to take it. For me, the epidural just put me off because it was the fear of injections or needles and a needle being in my back, and I just could not handle that. So that's what personally put me off. But please, if you feel like you need it and you're at that point, because, you know, some people are in labour for days, then take it. I really hope you enjoyed my birth and labour delivery story. It was a positive one. They're not all scary. They're not all nightmare stories, I assure you. It couldn't have gone any better for me, honestly. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. I personally love listening to other labour stories, and I really just wanted to share mine with you guys. So yeah, if you did enjoy it, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that red subscribe button down below. Don't know why I did that. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.